What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds, talking authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. This is a very special day for me today, a very special show. If you've seen in the news recently, you'll know all about Benjamin Sesko and what's going on. We will definitely discuss that because there is multiple things coming out surrounding that deal and loads of different kind of options that can happen. And yeah, we'll dive into the specifics. We've got stuff coming out about Donnarumma again, which I don't really understand. I don't know if this is kind of contract bargaining or people using United's name, or I don't know. I don't know what the crack is with that, but we'll discuss that as well. And also Chelsea still in for Garnacho despite signing Xavi Simons, or on the edge of signing Xavi Simons, should I say. They still want to bring in Garnacho on top of that as well, which is good for us because we get money. But how much is he actually worth? We've got Sam and Chewy alongside me, who are just talking about love songs. Would you love this signing, lads?
Love would be a strong statement.
Yes.
But is it a good signing? I think so. I've sort of talked about we'll get into my preferences later, but yeah, it's definitely a decent signing.
Yeah, just an opening question. I know there are specifics involved with this trivia. I know we're going to speak about Watkins and everything, but just on the surface, how did you feel about seeing this news coming out?
Indifferent, but I suppose given the circumstances, yeah, it's a bit of a relief there that we have another striker coming in. So on the surface, yeah, it's okay, it's decent, but we don't know the full details about price or anything else regarding that. So I think until that information comes out, we'll be able to make a fair assessment on how the transfer is.
Well, the devil is in the detail, so let's read out what's being reported. Manchester United are now prioritising a move for Benjamin Sesko. This is from David Ornstein and Laurie Whitwell. David Ornstein goes on to say that Watkins has admirers at the club, but Aston Villa told United early in the window that he is not for sale and are adamant he is staying. The United hierarchy are reluctant to pay what they thought it may have taken for Villa to consider doing business. While Benjamin Sesko would cost more than Ollie Watkins overall, it's thought a more favourable structure for United could be struck with Leipzig, who want in excess of £70 million for the player. Just your thoughts on that, Chivy, when you see those kind of prices. Obviously, people have PTSD from the Hojlund situation, from spending the exact same amount on him, and people feel like we need more of an experienced player in that forward line. Was that kind of your thinking with this deal?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have preferred someone with a little bit more experience. I mean, like you mentioned about Rasmus Hojlund, I think we're all scarred, from big money transfers for young players, quote unquote, unproven players. I don't think Sesko's goal scoring record is anything out of the ordinary, which is similar to what we had with Rasmus Hojlund. And even with Anthony, when he was coming, we looked at his, goals and assists, and they weren't all that, but we're willing to say, you know what, let's bring him in. Maybe he would develop at the club and all that kind of stuff. So it's nothing personal about the player. It's just another gamble. This is what it feels like to me. It just feels like a big gamble that we're making again. And let's not forget that all the other gambles we made are still at the club, and we're trying to get rid of them. And then we've added potentially a new one if he comes. So it's just one of those things where I think I'm just a little bit scarred. And I think I'd rather be patient and get a experienced stopgap for like a year or two, before we can target like a really proper proven goal scorer. Because he reminds me of, when I look at him physically, he reminds me of, Skamaka. Do you remember that guy? Yeah. And just as a joke, I just went on YouTube and then I kind of like Googled YouTubed Skamaka's highlights, and it's amazing as well. So it's like you can't really go on highlights. I don't really know Sesko. That's the thing. I don't know him. So it's just hard for me. I mean, for people who have researched him, and I've heard quite a few people say, he's like, well, he's not the real deal, but people sort of believe in the potential that he has, and I completely respect that. Just from my point of view, I don't know the guy, so I'm just nervous about it because we've been here before, So that's my whole thing about the Sesko thing. If he was prolific, say like Erling Haaland at the time when he was young, like you just knew he was a goal machine. Like all his records, he had the resume to back the hype. But with Sesko, it's potential, but the resume doesn't really back the hype, if you see what I'm saying. So that's why I'm a little bit apprehensive. I don't want to get caught up in, all the hype and all that. If he comes and turns out well, I'll be his number one supporter. But like for now, and I'm in the dark about the guy. That's just where I'm at, because with the way we play, we need an experienced striker. It's not easy for a young striker to fill that role, that number 9 role at United. It's not for someone who's learning. Like, we need someone who's accomplished. And I just didn't see enough poaching goals from him. It's all highlight reels, and I need like someone who's there to just like Cavani, that's a finisher. So that's where I'm at.
Couple things I'll throw back on that, and again, Sam, feel free to jump in as well. With the experience thing, I totally get, because I know what you mean. We do need a bit of a figurehead up there. However, I will say you have just brought in Mbeumo Cunha with bags loads of experience alongside him, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like Rasmus, where he's got Garnacho on one side and whoever it is on the right. Like, it's slightly different dynamic with that. And the other thing I'll say is Lenny Yoro was a gamble, was he not? He weren't Prem proven. He'd done well for Lille. He had the experience, but it was kind of like, obviously he seems like a big talent. That's what everyone was saying about him at the time. United spending a lot of big money, bringing into this system where it's kind of like, it's been shaky, it's Ten Hag and blah, blah, blah. And he's turned out to be an incredible centre-back, and he's not one Man United fan who's regretted that signing. In my opinion, anyway, I think he's been unbelievable, and I think he's got such a high ceiling. Obviously, it's not guaranteed that it will work out like that. It could go the complete opposite way, but it's almost like, Sam, I'm looking at this deal at the minute. It feels like deal or no deal. When they've got the 10 grand in the box, and it's like that's your Ollie Watkins, but there could be 250 grand in that box. Do you know what I mean? So,
Nick, can I just reply to your first point there about the experience and that? Like, it's not about him. I'm just looking at the deal, like the amount of money that we're going to spend for him. So bringing in a young striker, I don't have any problem with that. If we're paying 40 million, 35 million for a player like Sesko, I wouldn't have any problem with that. My point is the big money for young players, like I mentioned about Rasmus, Sancho, Anthony, we still have them here.
But that was a different people who was recruiting at the time. This is not Ineos and Wilcox and Vavell that we're talking about.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying it's a similar scenario where we've gone big on a player with potential. This is it's not about Sesko, it's about the price. And then now we're struggling to sell them, and we're going to have to sell them on the cheap. And it's like we're doing the same thing again with Sesko. So that's my point about the experience. It's the big money transfer to come in and then carry this whole. This the expectation of United. It's nothing like life. It's coming from the Bundesliga. It's not. It's Bayern. It's Dortmund. Leverkusen. I don't even think of the Champions League this season. So there's not that expectation of him. So that's the point I'm making. It's not about the age. It's just about the amount of money and investment we're making in another young striker that doesn't have the resume to back it. Lenny Yoro had the resume. He's a defender. He's not a goal scorer, but he's a defender. And everyone's raving. Liverpool wanted him. Real Madrid wanted him.
Arsenal wanted Sesko. Like, Chelsea wanted Sesko. Newcastle wants Sesko. Like, there's a demand there for him.
I get your point.
Let me bring Sam in, because I don't want to think, and we can circle back to it. It's not a problem. One of the lines from that article, Sam, from the Athletic, is saying Watkins had admirers, but basically the United hierarchy are reluctant to pay what they thought he might have taken, which says to me Villa would have been asking for, I'm not saying a similar fee to Sesko, but not far off. Let's say call it £60 million. Would you still pay that?
No, I think 60 million is too much. I think when I made my point about Ollie Watkins being my preference, I said I caveated it with 40 to 45 million pounds. That's where the money that I'd pay. I think 60 million for Ollie Watkins is a mistake. Like, obviously, there's no resale value in him anyway, because he's turning 30 this season. So the resale value is going to be limited anyway. So if you're paying 60 million, that 60 million could go to, like that 20 or that 15 that you saved by getting him for 40, 45 could go towards a midfielder, could go towards other parts of the squad. If you spaff that on Ollie Watkins and there's no resale value, you put yourself in a difficult position after that. Whereas I think there's other areas of the squad that need addressing. With Sesko, there is a risk. Obviously, anytime you buy a young player, there's a risk. And the more it costs you, the bigger the risk. Anthony, massive risk, didn't pay off. Hojlund, big risk. I'd say it's not paid off. I mean, he had a decent first season, but I'd say it's not paid off. But there's been other ones, like you said, Leniotto is paid off, big money, and so far he's paid off. So that is the risk with young players, and that's the risk you take. And you'd hope that the scouting, we have Christopher Vivell, Jason Wilcox, the people that are involved, that they've got good knowledge, because obviously the previous people didn't have good knowledge because, I mean, look at the state of the players we bought. Mm-hmm. You'd hope they know what they're talking about when they think this guy could do it, whereas they weren't around for when Rasmus Hojlund was signed. So that's the risk. I think if we got Sesko in for anything under the 70 that they want, I think that's an okay price. But yeah, I'm with Chivy that I would prefer to go and get Ollie Watkins. But if Villa are not going to move from the 60 million figure, then obviously it's a non-starter anyway, isn't it? So
yeah, I think the fee is interesting because I look at the market nowadays. You've just had Liverpool pay £79 million for Ekitike, and he's not got the pedigree that Sesko has. He hasn't been playing consistently in the Champions League like Sesko has. He hasn't been in title races like Sesko has with Salzburg, for example. And hasn't even got the figures that Sesko has.
Darwin Núñez, another one. One season played, and then they pay what, 85 million?
Like, so at least Sesko's done it consistently. I still admit there's an element of risk there. But yeah, I think it's interesting the way the market's working at the minute and what certain players are going for. Like, you've had Gyökeres go for a lot less than what Ekitike's gone for, and Gyökeres has scored 50, 60 odd goals in Europe. And I know Ekitike's younger, he's got a quote-unquote massive ceiling, but yeah, I find that interesting. Other bits coming out from this, Chivy, as well. This is from Fabrizio Romano, saying that United are offering Leipzig the opportunity to include a player in the deal for Benjamin Sesko. Rasmus Hojlund is a dream target for Leipzig. And we also had Laurie Whitwell confirm this as well, saying that Dortmund may potentially make a move for him at some point, and Leipzig was another one that's been mentioned to him personally. So this is good, solid journalists that are getting this kind of information. Do you think, obviously you don't know the player himself, but from everything we're hearing from Rasmus at the minute, it just seems like he wants to stay at United, doesn't he? And how would that deal work in your mind? How much cash plus Hojlund, like 20, 30 million, do you think?
Yeah, it has to be something realistic. It has to be something that works for us. But I also think Leipzig would like the money as well. Like, they would like a big chunk of money. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. As far as Dortmund, like, we know what they're all about. Like, when it comes to, like, I mean, they were so big.
Please, can I have some more?
They're so big, and then they swear they don't have any money. Like,
yeah,
they swear to
biggest
God.
liars in the market.
That's what they do. We know what they do. So
Leverkusen is in a claiming poverty. They sold Florian Wirtz, Frimpong. I'm like, are you claiming poverty, mate? Come on.
Yeah.
Like, we know.
Yeah, that's what all these kind of clubs do. Like, and they know, and they can get away with it. You know, they've never, tried to be that big team, or so they always want to play that sort of game when it comes to, like, transfers. With Hojlund, I'll be surprised if they offer anything close to 30 million euros. Dortmund, like, I'll be surprised. So I wouldn't even look at that. But with Leipzig, if there's a deal to go, is it Leipzig or Salzburg?
Leipzig.
With Leipzig, if there's a deal to be done, yeah, why not? And we've got people now who can negotiate, with Vivell and Barada and, the whole squad. So I'm sure they can negotiate something decent. I don't have any figure back in my head as far as Rasmus Hojlund, but like, as long as it's a good deal for both sides, then yeah, I'm with it.
I think that works out, does it not, Sam? Obviously in an ideal world, Rasmus going to Germany with Leipzig, it seems more of his kind of level in that. And I don't mean no disrespect to Leipzig, but they've just come off a terrible season. I think Marco Rose got sacked halfway through. They finished the lowest they have done in a long, long time. So they're looking to cash in.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, it does sound good. So maybe Rasmus will know that situation. But if we can do a deal like that, would that soften the blow for you slightly, do you think?
Yeah, I think it'd be a great club for Hojlund to go to as well, if I'm honest.
Agree.
Like, they develop young talent, they give not only do they do that, but they often sign players who've were really good young, went to a big club and it didn't quite work, didn't they? And then they come to Leipzig and sort of restart their careers and stuff. So I do think it'd be a good place for him to go. He could do well there, and I think they'd encourage whatever raw talent United saw, and then maybe they'd encourage that to sort of come back to the surface, build his confidence again. And maybe that would happen. Yeah, and then they sell him for a good price, like a few years later, maybe back to Italy or something. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say back to us then.
No.
Fill him up and go drive for 50 million.
I hope United are not that stupid. We learned our lesson with Paul Pogba. Let's not do that again.
Yeah,
so yeah, it could work well for United. Like I think it could be a good deal worth doing. But do you think then that puts us in a position where again we're going to need another striker? Because if he goes, Sesko comes in. We were needing a striker before Sesko come in, but now we're letting another one go. Do we then need another striker, technically?
I think it depends, because if those forwards are delivering and you've got Xerxes floating about who could play there, obviously Cunha and Mbeumo can both play there if needed as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's interesting. Maybe they would want to bring in maybe a more experienced one on loan or something.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know who's available on the market in a minute, but something else I found fascinating as well, Civir. So Simon Stone reported this before, and he doesn't put stuff out unless it's like pretty concrete from my experience anyway. Whenever he's speaking about Manchester United, he said that United sources say they do not have to sell players to make more signings this summer, which I found absolutely fascinating, because all the things we was hearing from that's a Jim Ratcliffe interview and everything around it, it's all, again, kind of screaming poverty a little bit, like we was just saying. But clearly, if they're going to go buy, say, spend 70 million on Sesko plus whatever wages he's on, that's £190 million spend that they've just done without Champions League football. So is it something in the back of your mind where you think, worried maybe this could be the credit facility or something like that? And has it surprised you if they do go and get Sesko, the business that they've done, considering, the financial stories that were being put out?
I mean, it could be a bluff, It could be a bluff, because that's the news that's going around. We have to sell before we buy. It could just be a bluff, and I'm referring to like the news that's come out saying that we don't need to sell. Like, it could just be, negotiation tactic or just something that they just put out there. I mean, you can never really tell.
If that was a negotiation tactic, it would work against us. By us saying we don't need to sell to buy players, that means we've got money to spend, which means clubs will be like, oh, well, they're not. Do you know what I mean? So it would make sense, someone putting that out for that reason.
I don't know. I really don't know what the finances look like. All of us were led to believe that we didn't have enough, spending room, or like we didn't have enough money to spend either, because of PSR and all this kind of stuff. And that's what we're all led to believe. If they're saying this now, it's surprising. I like what I'm hearing, but it's football. It's football rumors. Like, we've heard all sorts of things before. I wouldn't really put too much credit into that. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I just want to see what you're doing in the transfer window. So regardless of whether you're going to sell or it doesn't matter, I just want to see who you're linked to, who you're trying to get. That's what's important to me.
Sam, I'll come back to you in a second. I just want to go to a couple of comments. Please, if you are joining, by the way, subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video. We are on, I can't even see, where's my thing yet?
21,129.
Yeah, that's the number that we're on. So please do hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Vincent saying, we need Sesko now. We're playing poor teams in our tour, and we will be struggling teams. We can be in a Premiership game. I hope we can get the job done tomorrow, but we need to sign quick. Alex saying, resale is only for flops. There's no reason why good players can't see out their career here. And David saying, how would it work with Rasmus? We're still paying for him. What do we have to sell him for to not make it a loss?
I think it's 40. His book value is 45 million, so we'd have to sell him for 45 to not take a loss. on the PSR, basically.
Yeah. There you go, David. Rudy saying Xerxes job share with Sesko, they'll push each other. And also, I think having those two, the very different kind of players. So sometimes, on the occasion when you're playing someone who's going to play with a low block and try to frustrate the life out of your player, Joshua Xerxes, if you've got space to run into against an Arsenal or City or whatever in behind, you play a Benjamin Sesko. Maybe that's how that kind of dynamic will work. But with Vavell working at Leipzig before, Sam, he's spoke about Benjamin Sesko previously, and he said he is amongst the game's top young talents and has enormous potential to become a top player. He's extremely quick, has a great jump on him, and he's strong in the air, a very special player. When you look at I'm not saying you watched loads of footage of him, but
no.
Are there any concerns you have about him when you watch his play?
There's just, I think it's just the age and the lack of experience to back him up. And I think that's not normally an issue if you're paying 20, 30 million for a young player and they're coming in. But when you're paying big money and he's being hyped up to this degree, anything where he's not coming in and scoring 12, 15 goals is going to be seen as some sort of failure. And at United, that is very hard to recover from. Like, we've seen so many players come to this club with big hype and big expectations, and they haven't fulfilled it, and they've never been the same. Like, they have never recovered. Like, we saw the confidence of Rasmus Hojlund last season. Jesus Christ, every game it looked like he wanted the whole to just swallow him up and die. Like, he just didn't want to be on the pitch half the time. So that's the worry, is like breaking a young player, a young, exciting player who's got lots of potential, and him never reaching the heights that he should do. Anthony Martial's another one. It was a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract, extremely highly rated. Through his fault, United's fault, training, injuries, blah, blah, blah. He just never reaches that. And now he's playing for Panathinaikos or something in the Greek division. This was a Golden Boy winner. Like, this was a guy who was like rated top of the sort of European standard. And we know Monaco bring out massive talent. Leipzig is another one, massive talent that's produced there. So that's the worry with me, is the shirt weighing him down and not performing to expectations. There's not many young players who come into United shirt and like exceed it. Like, the only sort of people I could think is like Wayne Rooney in terms of strikers, who's come in, took that shirt and exceeded the expectations that were expected of him. So it's a big task. That's what I'm worried about. I think all the other stuff you can work on, the technical, the sort of touch and all that stuff, you can work on that stuff. But the confidence and the expectation of wearing that shirt, it's either in you or it's not. You can't teach it.
With Hojlund, I felt like it was different. Like, he came in, he should have never have been in that situation in the first place. I felt like they'd done him a disservice by doing that and destroying his confidence completely. I think now, obviously, it's very early days and we've only seen bits from pre-season, but you're coming into a different setup, different kind of system with different players around you and Premier League proven players around you. I mean, if you're a striker and you're saying to him, you're going to have Mbeumo, Cunha, Ahmad, and Bruno Fernandes involved in the mix. Like, if you're not scoring goals with those kind of players there is a fucking huge, giant issue. On the setup, Chevy, I did want to pick your brain about this because I don't think we've spoken much since. I know we went back and forth in the WhatsApp about the West Ham game, but Dan's just put in the chat there, still worried about Bruno's role in his formation with Cunha and Mbeumo taking the wings. In your mind now, how do you see us set up? Let's say for the first game against Arsenal, how do you want us to be? Or what players are best in which position?
That's a tough one. Because the midfield is the biggest issue there. I would like to see like Cunha, Xerxes, and Mbeumo. Well, obviously Dogu and Ahmad as wing backs. But the two central midfielders, that's the problem now, because Kobe and Ogati looked really good.
Yeah,
in
but it's
there.
one game, innit?
Yeah, but it's one game, that's the thing. And the problem with the midfield is that individually, we have decent players individually. It's just the balance between them. That's the real issue there. And the balance in the pairing. Now, and if you put Bruno as one of them, I don't know if you can do that role. I don't know. It's a tough one, man. It's a really, really tough one. I have asked myself this question so many times. it might be Ugarte minor, but then that leaves Bruno out. So,
Bruno's better further forward. You saw it like against West Ham. He just is. He's just naturally an attacking player. It's instinctive. I don't think you could take that out of someone.
Really. Yeah, but you really can't take that out. But then, but I wouldn't sacrifice Cunha or Mbeumo for Bruno in those two positions. Yeah, so he'd have to fit in the middle somehow. But then being in the middle, that's the thing. Bruno in one of the holding midfield positions is not the same Bruno you have going forward. He's terrible with ball position. Like his ball position is terrible. Gives the ball away, and those are the kind of positions where giving the ball away could really, really cost us. So it's a big headache. I don't know what the managers need to do, and so it's a huge topic. I'll be interested to see what Amorim does. He might start Bruno over Mbeumo and then bring Mbeumo in later. I don't know. Because when he played against West Ham, I really liked the position he played.
Yeah.
He was one of the 10s, but a lot of the times he operated centrally, which was great because he would move in, I would move into that attacking right position. So I don't know how Amorim's going to do it. So yeah, I can't answer that question. Okay.
I just wanted to add, like, if we are going for Sesko, that's, I don't know, like 70 million or whatever it is, and if it's not going on the credit card, that says to me we're not signing a midfielder, which worries me a lot more than signing Sesko versus Watkins does, because if it isn't Ugarte and Menu who's the pivot, obviously, like we said, one game it worked, but is it going to work for the rest of the season? We don't know. So if you are going to play Bruno essentially, you need that perfect partner who's going to do the dog work and who's also good on the ball. So when he does maraud forward, you don't have to worry about going back and having sort of like protection for the back three. That means you got to spend money to get that player in, because that player doesn't exist for cheap or getting a loan. Like, you can't do that. So you have to spend money. So if we're spending this money on Sesko, it makes me worried that we're not buying a midfielder. So that's the position now where I'm like, that might cost us. Maybe not. I don't expect us to compete for a title, despite what Luke Shaw says. But that might cost us a European place. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we're just getting rammed through the midfield, like, during games.
The thing about Bruno is Bruno can't help himself. He can't help but be himself, right? And it's just some things you can coach out of the player, some things you just can't at a certain level. And I just don't think he has the defensive discipline to play that position. We've seen him commit himself lots of time. I'm not saying Bruno isn't committed to the team or anything. I'm just saying from like a strictly technical point of view, he's not disciplined enough to be able to play that position for 90 minutes. That's what I'm saying. So as far as like Bruno will run himself into the ground, there's no question about that. But just being able to just hold the line, I'm not sure I trust him enough there. He can do that. I mean, he can play there in a game and be solid, but consistently over a run of games, I don't trust him to do
that. I think the prime example of that was the final against Tottenham. Just didn't show up. Just watched it and was just flat. Didn't really do much. I think from a business perspective, looking at squad slots and holes and how many players you've got there, it's difficult for United to go and spend that money on the midfield, I would imagine, because you have a vacancy there at the 9 in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, you've got Hojlund, and I don't think Xerxes initially was brought in as that kind of guy. So technically, you've got one striker on the books who's an out and out, out and out number 9. Sorry. Whereas in the midfield, you have Ugarte, Kobe, Casemiro, Collier. Like, you've got a lot of players stocked up there who plays in the middle, who don't necessarily fit the system, which is annoying. But you have a lot of players there on the wage books, just speaking specifically from a business sense. So is it easy for them to turn around and go, well, we need another midfielder on top of that? And they turn around and go, well, you've already got fucking 6. So you want us to bring another one in? Like, we have to let one go first before you bring one in. I don't know if that's in the thinking at all or not.
Well, we saw Collier, didn't we? Collier is supposedly going on loan, which apparently will open up a midfield place. But I imagine Collier's wages aren't that much, considering he's an academy player. So I don't see how that works, like how that frees up a spot. Like, surely you'd have to get, like Chivy said, a Mason Mount out, a Casemiro, those sort of wages. If you got those off the books, that would open a spot. I don't see how Collier opens a spot up personally, but
Well done, it. Ali Williams says, I would have been happy with either Sesko or Watkins. The way I see it, Watkins raises the floor of the team, Sesko raises the ceiling. I quite like that saying. Josh is saying, but that means dropping Cunha or Mbeumo if you want to play Bruno further up. Well, he's just kind of said, didn't it? He wouldn't do that. The difference is with Cunha and Mbeumo is just the pace of which they can run at defenders at. Bruno hasn't really got that. He has to be a little bit more cute when he's further up. Although he is a creative machine, you give it to Mbeumo, he is fucking running past him or running in behind. Bruno isn't that guy in that.
Cunha likes to sort of weave in between people as well, doesn't he? He likes to sort of duck and dive through people. Great carrier as well. Yeah,
they both carry the ball really well, whereas Bruno isn't really like beating people in that way. We Love Life says Watkins is a no-brainer, Premier League proven with guaranteed goals for the money you spend. Leopold says we will buy a midfielder. We don't need to sell anybody to get Sesko. Garnacho will fund the midfielder. Interesting. I've seen Giggs being converted to an 8. Of course, Bruno can. Yeah,
they're two different players.
Two different players. Two very different players.
Like Giggs,
I agree.
You can't compare anyone with Giggs.
Yeah.
Giggs might be the greatest Man United player of modern times. Like he is.
He is. I think Ryan Giggs. Personally, I think he's the best Premier League player.
Like he is. He's up there with like some of the best players that I've ever played. So it's very difficult to compare him to Bruno Fernandes. I love Bruno. I think he's the best player we've bought post Fergie, but next to Ryan Giggs, like it's not even a competition.
Ryan Giggs is the greatest Premier League player. No one has won as many trophies as that guy, and he didn't decline before he played at the highest level until he retired.
Yeah,
like he was our captain. He played in the midfield.
Yeah.
So when we lost Cristiano, when we lost David Beckham, when we lost with Van Nistelrooy, Giggsy was the one who carried us.
Yeah.
So if you're too young to if you didn't relive those days, just go back and watch it and do your research. There's nobody that's won more Premier League trophies than that guy.
My hero growing up when I was playing football as a kid, he was my hero. He was my favorite.
And when I say one, I don't mean just being in the team and then managing to he won them. Like
oh yeah,
like the last trophy we won against that was the season before Valencia during this. I remember he scored that goal against Wigan that won us the league. So and he was 41 when he did that. So that's not
little Ryan Giggs segment there for 5 minutes. Enjoyed that. I want to move the story on because there's other bits of news I want to discuss. So this Donnarumma thing, lads, just keeps resurfacing, right? So apparently United made an inquiry for Gianluigi Donnarumma earlier this summer, and PSG now expect United to renew their interest once Lucas Chevalier's signing is completed. PSG are open to selling him for the right price. This is from James Ducker, by the way, coming out of the Telegraph. It's not, Foot Mercato or Calcio or anything like that. Like
Sports Witness.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm about. The European aggregators, whatever you want to call them. James Ducker's, in my mind, a pretty decent journalist when it comes to stuff around United, from the majority of stuff that I see. So I had to look into this. I was like, why the fuck would PSG sell Donnarumma? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I was looking into it. So Donnarumma's contract expires in 2026, so by next season, and PSG are apparently keen to avoid a repeat of the situation they experienced with Mbappe, obviously when Mbappe left on a free. So that's why they're trying to push for a sale now for him. But you look at it and everything involved, lads, the finances, like...
What his wages must be insane. Like, he must be on...
I don't know what they
are.
Honestly.
Actually, no. I actually thought he was on insane wages. Because that's what I always thought that. But then he's on like 200k pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's like 200
that's still a lot.
Euros.
I know, but considering what I thought we were talking 400k a week. That's what I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Same, yeah. Because I know PSG...
Not for a goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah, no, they splashed the cash for him. Didn't we pay De Gea like 350 or something?
Yeah, 375, I think. De Gea.
So I thought it was another sort of thing. Like,
They got Donnarumma on a free, didn't he? Because he ran out of contract with AC Milan, so they just chucked a shit ton of money, like signing on fee and wages. So I thought they'd like give him a massive contract, and then if it's 200k, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a lot more.
Yeah, so £207,000 a week He's on.
Okay.
So €240,000, £207,000 a week.
Not as bad as I thought.
But for a keeper, it's kind of like
that's Mason Mount money.
that. Fucking hell. Mason Mount money is closer to 300 grand than it is 200 grand. Crazy when you think about it. But I mean, I think it goes without saying we would all take Donnarumma, right? If it was an option and we could bring him in, I think I'd actually take him over Martinez at this point.
Definitely.
Whenever I've watched Donnarumma, for some reason, people seem to think he's a FIFA player or a hype. Like he isn't. When I've watched him, he's genuinely been incredible. Like some of the saves he's made in the Champions League campaigns, fucking insane. Honestly,
he was playing for AC Milan when he was 17.
17
when he got his debut for AC Milan. So he was playing, like, what goalkeeper do you know came through at 17 and played for a top European club?
Italy.
It's crazy.
Milan
as well. Like,
it doesn't happen. Like, it does not happen. Like, people were saying when De Gea came to United at 21, oh, he's too young, he looks like a kid. Like, it's not, like, this kid was playing at 17 and he did well for Milan. They won trophies with him. Like, he did well. And he went to PSG, who were buying top stars at the time, Mbappe and Neymar and all these guys, and they went for him. Like, this guy is no scrub. Like, this isn't nobody. Like, it's a good goalie, a very good goalkeeper.
Top keeper. He's a throwback to like the old sort of, greats, like the old,
kind of vibes.
He's one of them types. He's tall, he's massive, good reflexes for his size, reads the game, confidence. I mean, this kid,
big presence.
Big presence. Like he's played with like some killers. Like he's had some killers in front of him before, so he knows. He's not fazed by anything. Yeah, if we could do a deal, like if it's possible, then why not? Why the fuck not? Like,
but then I'm thinking, why? I know why they want to sell him, let's say now, so there isn't a possibility of him just leaving on a free. Mm-hmm. But also, why not renew his contract?
Well, aren't they having like talks where he's not like?
Well, they've just brought in a goalkeeper, but that's why it makes me feel weird because Donnarumma is one of the best keepers in Europe, in my opinion.
Yeah. So according to what I heard about the situation from Romano was that Chevalier is supposed to be like the next best thing. So they wanted to get a drop on that because they knew that if they waited till next season, loads of clubs would be in for him. He's French. They wanted him to be like he's supposed to be like the next big French goalkeeper.
Gamble that though, isn't it? When you've got someone like Donnarumma there.
Yeah.
But then if negotiations have broken down, if he's not ready, I mean, because I'm sure they would have wanted to talk to him, especially after
maybe he wants like the
bro. He won them. He won them the Champions League. Bro. Like we watched the game against Barcelona. Was it Barcelona?
The final was against Inter, but you mean the semis?
Yeah, the semis against Arsenal. He made some crazy saves. Yeah, in the first like 5 minutes, some really good saves. Like he was instrumental to them winning that Champions League. Like I'm sure they would have had to sit down and be like, "Yo, let's talk." But it looks like maybe talks are breaking down. I don't know. So
didn't he have a penalty shootout at some point as well? And he saved like 3 penalties or something. Like he did something.
Sounds like him.
Yeah, like
sounds
he just
like him. I'll be surprised.
Ridiculous amount of penalty saves. Like it was insane. So he's probably going, look, I did this for you. I've won this. Like I want top dollar. And they're probably like, well, we're going in a different direction now. We're getting young players. We're not paying those ridiculous wages. So there's probably like a bit of a battle going on, I imagine.
Yeah, that's probably it. I bet he wants 300k now, says David Harrington. Someone's going on about Garnacho there. Garnacho will fund the midfielder and also Sisu, my brother. 1 second.
Bless you. Just for the record, I will pay Donnarumma 300.
You would what?
I'll pay him 300k if that's what he wants. Yeah, easy.
What you personally, Chivy? Are you paying it?
No, I'm just saying, like like United, like 300k easy.
That's a lot. That is a lot for a
goalkeeper. I'll pay it.
Any else will pay it.
If I'm setting Casemiro next,
so Jim ain't paying that. So Jim isn't paying it.
No, he's not.
No chance.
I mean, but if we're making room, I'm just saying, like we're making, or I'll pay him 299.9.
There you go. Pinch every penny so you can save the pounds. Right, lads, let's get into this last story of the day. So Chelsea are still pushing to sign Alejandro Garnacho as well as Xavi Simons. Garnacho was keen on the move to Stamford Bridge, but Man United are pushing for a deal of at least £40 million. to me, in my mind, Sam, this fucking price keeps coming down and down.
Yeah,
I remember
like,
going
what it 45 million the other week?
Well, I'm saying, like, when Napoli first initially approached, it was like 60s we were asking for. Now it seems to just be, like, getting worse and worse. I'm like,
also,
surely you get 50 mil for Garnacho.
They paid what, 55 for Jamie Gittins, was it, for Dortmund?
Yeah.
And he scored 1 goal in the last 6 months. So why is he 55 million but Garnacho is 40 when his numbers are considerably better? Like, we know the answer because it leaked out and he got told to go fuck himself. We know why. But do you know what I mean? Like, if it's based on numbers, talent, potential, and all that, he's worth way more than 40 million. Like, he is.
Yeah, but nobody. But that's our fault. We have no one else to blame. No one else to blame but ourselves. Like, we don't. I'm shocked at how we've handled this whole situation. Even with
it leaked out, didn't it? A journalist, was it Nathan?
Bro, apart from that, when you alienate them from the rest of the squad, like, you have a product that you want to sell, but you don't put any value on that product. How do you expect someone else to then put value on the product? Like, you're treating them like they're unwanted. Like, you don't care about them. They're sneaking into training after the players leave, and they're coming to train. And what does that say to everyone else? Anybody who pays more than 40 million for Garnacho is an idiot. Honestly. Just wait until the last day of the season.
Yeah. That's what they'll do.
Just throw 30 million on the table. Because this is what we've done. It doesn't matter if you don't want the world doesn't have to know that you don't like these players. You know,
didn't Garnacho force that initially though by doing what he did?
But
keep it in house. Keep it in house. Don't fucking get it late.
Garnacho didn't keep it in house. That's my point.
Oh, did he say he wants to leave?
No, he came. Well, yeah, he came out after the final, the Europa League, and was like, "Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the summer. I'm not happy that I didn't start, and blah blah blah." Like,
but everyone does. Everyone says that. Like,
Ugarte didn't. Ugarte didn't start the game. Didn't get 1 minute and didn't bitch or complain. It was.
I know. I get what I'm saying, but that's not the first time players have done that. Like, Rooney's done that. Ronaldo's like, players have done that before. I'm not putting him on the same level as them. Yeah. And then also, even if he says that, like, they've said it, and then we've still gone on to do, you know, I mean, we've seen situations where players have kind of said Steven Gerrard, was in a similar situation, but the club still kind of shielded it. Like, I'm just saying we could have handled it better. Like, we could have still had them train, put them in there, and then just pretend that we like them. Pretend that they're
photoshopping a smile on Garnacho's face.
Send some photos out. No, they put the training photos out. Have one with Amrim around his arm, like Garnacho and stuff.
Just
like
pretend,
that.
Top lad, got a beer in his
pretend that they're wanted. Imagine just like, I don't give a fuck about this thing, but you're going to be, it's not going to happen. So we have ourselves to blame for that. And anyone who pays more than 40, man, that's not happening.
I don't think it's helped by him saying he just wants to stay in the Premier League either, because I think had he not ruled moves out across Europe, I think he would have been sold already by now. I think Napoli probably would have had him. Or
same with Anthony though, isn't it? He's like, he only wants Betis. Apparently he's turned down Sao Paulo, Botafogo, Saudi Arabia. Like, he's turned down all these other ones because he only wants Betis. So it's like,
when that went in, I was like, please be true.
I might have popped a bottle of champagne if that happened. If £50 million for Anthony from Saudi, I would just. Jesus Christ.
What if they just pay for João Felix 40 million? Is it? I think
44, 40, something like that.
That guy is turning into Morata, isn't it?
Yeah, just João going Felix. Everywhere, isn't he? He's just played for every top club.
All this hype and this name, and then it's just like it's getting worse each club that he moves to. It seems to be getting progressively worse. But Chelsea, man, this is what I'm saying. Like 55 million for Madueke, 52 million, whatever it is they got. Then they're getting 45 or 40 million for João Felix. Like, they sell so well. And I'm looking at them like, why can't we do that? Why are we not selling players to Saudi? Why is no one interested in our fucking players? It's annoying.
Because we're not interested in them. Like, we're not even interested in our own players. So, like, what do you expect? Yeah, so it's the thing. They sold an injured Mason Mount for 60 million.
Yeah, on the last year of his contract.
Yeah. That deal was crazy. It was crazy. I remember I tried not sugarcoating it, but I was like, oh, it's not too bad. 55 plus 5 for a player who's 24, 25. Like, I was trying to look at it in a similar light to what Cunha and Mbumo, for example. We just paid 60 mil for Cunha, right? And then you look at the wages and you look at how that deal's gone and what's happened, you're just like, Jesus Christ, that's killed us.
And they gave him the number 7.
The 7, that was the
number. Bro,
whose idea was that? Has it come out?
That's a John Mercer idea, that isn't it? That's a John Mercer.
Do you know what we should do, Richard? I think we should give him number 7. Ooh, Mason Mount. Mason Mount, number 7. Like, yeah, I think he suits. It just doesn't feel right when I look at him with on. But the other conversation at the time, don't forget, was also give it Garnacho. And imagine if they would have given it Garnacho.
I'd fucking give it to Garnacho over Mount.
Interesting.
If it was, if it was between the two, I'd give it to Garnacho.
Is it the butterfly?
He's from our
effect?
academy.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, sorry.
Is it the butterfly effect? That called? Like, if had you would give it to Garnacho, would things be different right now? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, he wanted it as well, didn't he? He asked for it, like he wanted it and stuff like that. I think any time we've given it to a player rather than a player earn it, like Ronaldo, he earned it and he got that 7 and he became Ronaldo. Whenever we've given it to a player, it's fucking flopped. Memphis flopped. Like Mason Mount flopped. It's just never fucking worked anytime we've given it to someone.
I think the hype's gone of the 7.
Oh, yeah, it's fuck. He's gone.
Yeah, and we Garnacho that would have made money. Like, he would have sold. I mean, would have sold jerseys.
And he's a winger. I always associate the number 7 with George Best, David Beckham.
Yeah, he's a winger. He's
Ronaldo.
He's from the academy, all that kind of stuff. They could have sold it really, really well. Give it to fucking Mason Mount from Chelsea.
I hope that comes out one day. The specific guy who did that.
John Mercer. It's definitely John Mercer's idea.
It
definitely
probably is. Yeah.
That would have happened under Ed Woodward as well. He would have done that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's the kind of shit he does. It's like,
That's
let's sell shirts. Let's get social media clicks.
I've never seen anybody with a Mason Mount jersey. Never.
No, you're right.
This morning there was a there was a big guy.
No, they were fat. Chivy said they were fat. They were fat. They were fat. It was a fat.
It was that fat. Around. The number 7 looked like a number 3.
Yeah.
On his back.
When he was trying to read the thing, he had to turn the guy round to try and read all the way around. Like, what?
Only this morning, bro. This morning there was a big, like really big lad on the train with the Garnacho jersey. Wearing number 17 Garnacho.
I would have punched him in the face. I'm not having anyone.
I'm just saying, I've never seen. Have you? No, honestly, think. Have you seen?
No, I've not. I've not genuinely.
Never.
No. Sorry, Mason. Unfortunately, he's a good lad. He works hard.
I've not seen a Mason Mount jersey, but you know what jersey I have seen? A Tom Heaton jersey. I've seen a Tom Heaton jersey.
He's a top lad, though, isn't it?
I know, but he don't fucking play. Who gets a Tom Heaton jersey? Like, what are you doing?
That was his
who does that?
That was his son.
It's his son.
It's his son. That's the only guy who's buying it. He bought him it for Christmas. Like, son, I bought you a shirt with my name on the back. Because no one else is buying it. I bet it's all about 4 units of that, and it's all family members and discounted as well. Oh God, I haven't bought a shirt in so long. I get shirts. Like, I've had shirts bought for me, but actually going out physically to buy one, I've not done it for a long, long time. Ronaldo, I think, was the last time when I went and made sure that I got one when he came back. But yeah. Anyways,
I think the last player shirt I bought was Rooney, and then
what year?
The rest of the ones. That was the one with the black thing. So 2000.
Oh no, AIG.
With the black
AIG.
AIG.
The blue bit, is it?
No, red and black. Yeah.
Oh, red and black. Right. I'm with you. I thought you said black. Like black was the
No. Yeah.
I'm with you.
That was the last one I bought, and then the rest of them, I buy like just without the players' names, or I buy like training kits and stuff.
Yeah, there we have it. People, let us know if you're getting Tom Heaton on the back of your shirts. This
Tell
season.
us in the comments what is the United player. What is the weirdest name you've seen on a shirt? Like a weirdest player's name, like a player that just doesn't have a shirt. Like players, there has to be like one out there. Like, has somebody seen a Massimo Taibbi goalkeeper shirt with the Taibbi on the back? I guarantee that don't exist.
I might guarantee it doesn't
exist. I've seen a Jemba Jemba before.
Yeah, really? You've seen a Jemba Jemba shirt?
Yeah, I can see that.
Wow.
I can see that. I might make it my mission just to get the most role player on a shirt this season. Just don't know who that's going to be, but just a proper mad shout like fucking Bayern Deer on the back of my shirt. Right. Before we ramble on anymore, appreciate everyone who's joining the chat. There's been absolutely loads of yous. Please do leave a like on the video for us and subscribe to the channel, pushing to 25k. And we can only do that with your help. And also, for any further updates on Benjamin Sesko, because that deal is hot right now with David Ornstein and Laurie Whitwell and all the guys from The Athletic. Keep an eye on our Instagram. You will get minute-by-minute updates, also on X as well, and TikTok. Appreciate you all. We will see you guys tomorrow. See you